Hello everyone, I'm Kalen North and welcome back to Spirit Island. Today we're going to be continuing our intermediate difficulty series. We're going to play River on board E against Scotland 2. So Scotland 2 doesn't have some of the... It loses some of the key Scotland things, so there's no like adjacency build on the coasts and that kind of thing, but we do get that extra city and we get this new deck order, so as long with the towns instead of explorers in coastal lands. So let's see how this goes. We're playing on board E, which is another one where it's a little awkwardly placed in terms of where we can get to. Although with invaders starting in wetlands, that might not be an issue. So let's go ahead and... Goodness, I think I want to do a flash floods opening on this one. Do we want to... We could even draft a power potentially and do a flash floods opening. See if we get a defend or something for land 8. And if we don't... We could, well, you know what? We're trying silly things. Let's do it. Let's just see what happens. Carapace land, there's a defend power. Dry wood explodes and smoldering splinters, literally cannot target wetlands. Spawn with words of fire would effectively just give us elements in solo, so not very interesting. Rights of the Land's rejection could be kind of nice to stop a build somewhere, but I don't think it's going to be as effective as just taking the defend power here for a land that we're already in. So let's do that. Let's grow... I kind of want to grow to land 5, honestly. Because we're not going to get our innate this turn, and that's going to let me target the coastal lands more easily next turn, if I can set up a sacred site in 5. So let's flash floods, and we will hit land 4. And then invaders build in the wetlands and explore in the mountains. All right, so that's fine. Now, this turn, you know, I think... we can just let land 2 blight. So we're not going to... There's no real concerns with that. Land 5 we'll have to do something about, but I kind of want to just rush my top track a little bit more here. And maybe try and get some kind of major or something on a future turn. So let's keep doing that. Let's go up to 3 energy. Let's get the sacred site in land 5. We'll put a presence in land 4. As sort of a backup sacred site, and then Carapace land, and then we're just going to bank energy so that we can hopefully play a nice big explosion of some sort next turn. No, this is... we're stage 2, so fortification. That'll probably be fine. We'll be able to do that in the wetlands and they'll be empty, unless wetlands comes up, in which case we can do it in the sands and they'll be empty, so that's great, yeah. Beast attack does nothing, and the extra Dahan will be nice. We can put an extra Dahan in land 5, I believe, would be the best here. Just so that we can set up a better counterattack in land 5 at some point in the near future. Alright, mountains explore, and we get an escalation, so we have to add a town somewhere. And we do have fortification coming up, which we will use on probably wetlands. Let's go ahead and put the town in land 3, where we have a couple of Dahan. And that's going to hopefully let us set up some kind of pocket here very soon. Land 5 is now a bit messier, but I am going to go ahead and get a major power, and hopefully that'll deal with it in some way. We could also reclaim at this point, just for Carapace land. I don't really want to do that, because I don't think it's going to be very effective. But we could do that if we absolutely had to. So let's gain a major power, see if we get something useful. Well, we got Talons of Lightning. That'll handle it. That's the only fast one that's in there. And yeah, let's just do that. Let's have fun with it. We'll take Talons of Lightning. We can forget... let's see. Let's forget Flash Floods. We don't need that. And then we'll go to 2 card plays, because we wanna start doing some other stuff here. Let's grow into land 3, and let's play Talons of Lightning, and how about River's Bounty? That'll let us get some more Dahan going here in a minute. And then Talons of Lightning will clear land 5, get us a Fear card. Land 2 is going to Blight, and then Blight Cascade probably, but we'll do the best we can. Fortify the Resilience of Life we could do. I'm kind of tempted to just let Destruction have its day, though. Get another disease somewhere to try and... because Talons only does 5 damage, so we can't clear both cities in land 2. especially since we gave up flash floods. Let's well, so if we fortify resilience of life, we could do that by forgetting Carapist land. That might not be too crazy. And that gives us a shot at removing a blight, which is kind of nice. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's keep adventuring here. We'll throw the beast into land 2 just in case something happens, and we did get the blight removal. Excellent. Each player removes an explorer from land with the Han. That does nothing. Ravage in the mountains. Build in the mountains. And so now we can even take a cascade there, and we'll be okay. I think I am going to reclaim next turn. Although, wait, no, we just got rid of Carapist land. Never mind. I am not gonna put that town in the mountain, because I don't think we have a good solution for it. So let's go ahead and put the town in land 4. Land 7 and land 3 are both going to be a little obnoxious here. Let's grab some Dahan into land 3, just so we can try and set up something big on a future turn. And then let's go from there. All right, now this turn we could grow to 3 card plays before we reclaim, or we could just reclaim. We can't afford Talons of Lightning, though, if we do that. But we could draft something new and see what happens. I don't know that we really want to try and do anything more with Talons of Lightning right now. So let's go up to 3 card plays. We can do like a sacrificial counterattack here in land 3 at the very least to try and keep our city count under control. Well, except then what do we do about land 7? I think we got to do this and just try and see what we can pull off. So let's go ahead and make a sacred site in land 3. No, let's go into land 1. No, wait, we're going to cascade into land 1. That's a bad idea. I guess let's make a sacred site in land 7. We're winging it. It's fine. Here we go. Alright, Boon of Vigor gets us an energy, so we can do something big with a major next turn. Civic Engagement doesn't matter. Casualties of Fang and Sting doesn't do anything. Keep Far from the Lands of Plague doesn't do anything. Oh, wait. Oh, we did put a beast there. Never mind, it does do something. Kills an explorer there. Alright, Jungles build, and we are... Jungles explore again? Okay, that's fun. So let's wash away 3 towns into land 2, which is a giant mess, but that's fine. And then let's wash away a town from land 7 into land 4. That may or may not make a huge difference, but if we get the right power, it could. So let's go ahead and grab a new major, because Talons of Lightning, I think, is not going to do enough for us at this point. Cleansing Floods, that could be really good for us. Infestation of Venomous Spiders is cool, and would allow us to potentially do some cool things with skipping actions and maybe dealing damage. Are we going to be able to threshold that at some point? I don't know. That's a tricky threshold for us. Manifest Incarnation... I don't think is going to do all that much for us. Gosh, I wish we could get the threshold on Cleansing Floods this turn. But we only have the 3 card plays. Vanish Softly Away, Forgotten by All. So Infestation of Venomous Spiders lets us stop the Blight and build in land 7, which might be worthwhile. But then what do we do with it next turn? I'm not really sure. So I guess we could River's Bounty some Dahan in there and do like a counterattack thing. Because land 3 will solve at the cost of Blight. We're going to go Blighted here in a moment. I'm really tempted by Cleansing Floods, but if we could threshold it this turn, but we can't do that yet. So that's not going to work very well. Let's let's do infestation of venomous spiders. We've got the beast in land 2 as well. That's going to make that a little more powerful. So let's play that. And do we want to try and... Well, we can't get 4 card plays and another draft in order to try and max our innate next turn. So let's do infestation. Let's do River's Bounty, and let's do Wash Away. That'll help us clean up wherever they explore. So infestation of venomous spiders goes here. We pull in a beast, get some fear. Search for new lands. I don't think that does anything. Distant hunt does something. We push an invader out of here. Oh, that's actually kind of nice. Let's throw that invader into a land without invaders. Let's throw them into the mountains. Distant hunt then can push this beast into that mountain and deal a damage. And we get a defend in land 3, so we aren't actually going to go blighted this turn. Skip build actions in lands with cities. Okay, that's fine. Then we want to skip the Ravage. We can allow the build, in fact, and if they somehow explore jungles again, I don't know. All right, so we want to explore with towns now. We'll put a town in land 2, a town in land 1, and an explorer in land 3, because the explorer will just clear in land 3. And then now we can actually solve land 7. So let's massive flooding the explorer out. We'll River's Bounty some Dahan in. And then we'll wash away these guys into land 2. So land 2 is this gigantic mess. We need to come up with a solution to it pretty badly. And that solution is probably going to be something along the lines of getting our max innate. So let's craft a minor power card and see what we can do with that, I think. We can reclaim venomous spiders to stop it from ravaging next turn, which will be helpful, but not like super urgent. So let's gain... We could gain another major, but I think I want to gain a minor here. And I'm looking for... Teeming Rivers will do it. That'll let us max our innate. So that's good. Nature's Resilience would also be kind of handy, potentially, for stopping a Blight in land 7, but I think that we take the Blight in exchange for being able to nuke all of these towns. So, Teeming Rivers, let's get our Reclaim 1 spot. We'll grow into... Let's grow into land 2, because we're going to stop the Blight that lands there anyway. And then we'll reclaim... probably Wash Away. That's gonna... Yeah, let's reclaim Wash Away. I don't think we need more Dahan right now. Although we could pull some Dahan into land 2 to try and set up for something if we get the right major. Is that worthwhile? Nah, let's just take... Let's take Wash Away. We don't need more Dahan right now. Let's play all 3 cards, and then that'll get us a level 2 innate, which is kind of cool. Boon of Vigor. Teeming Rivers I don't think is going to actually do anything, because we have 2 Blight in the land that matters. Okay, tend to your own strength or forge a web of mutual support. Oh, that's actually pretty handy, potentially. Oh, what do we want to do there? Each spirit destroys one of their presence and gains a permanent element. What do we need to do in order to do that? We could just pay 2 energy to do that, which might be kind of worth it. Just to get like an extra... Well, how close are we to thresholding this? We're nowhere near close to thresholding this. We don't have the elements. So we could get like an extra water or something. I don't really want to tend to my own strength regardless. So then quit the farmed lands is gonna not do... Well, it'll get us a fear. So that's nice. Return to old pillars. So let's forge a web. Let's pay energy, 2 energy. So we've got plenty. We'll destroy our presence in... let's just give up the Sacred Site in land 7. And then for our permanent element... I think water's got to be the choice, because then if with water we could use infestation instead of wash away next turn, and that'll let us do crazy things. So that'll be fun. Let's push the beast to land 3 and get a fear. We gather some Dahan into. Let's gather some Dahan into land 5. All right, invaders ravage in the jungle, and we go blighted. Disintegrating ecosystem. Okay, we destroy a beast. So I guess let's destroy one of those. And then we add a blight to a land with buildings. So we got to go land 4, I think, here. Which is a little unfortunate, but that's fine. All right, Sands Explore. And we've got a Scotland escalation first. So let's put that in. Let's see, we don't have like a defend power anywhere. Let's put it in land 5. And then we can massive flooding to probably clear that sand, because we don't want that ravaging next turn. Is there anything else we want to do before that though? We can wash away land 6 into land 4. That should be fine. Teeming rivers can remove a blight from land 4, so that's kind of nice. And then we will kill the town in land 1. All right, let's reclaim cards, gain a minor, I think. And ooh, Sky Stretches to Shore. That's really good. That's going to let us do our innate thing even more powerfully. Actually, it's going to let us do it fast this turn. So let's do that, I think, because then we can deal 2 damage to everything in land 2. No, that's not actually worth it, because then the cities are still there and they're still going to ravage, and even with the, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 towns dying, that's only going to be 2 fear cards at Terror 2. Well, 3 fear cards at Terror 2. That's still not going to be enough. Let me actually jump back to that draft and take another look at it. I like Sky Stretches a lot here, but we might want to save it for next turn. Yeah, none of these others are going to be all that important. So yeah, we'll still take Sky Stretches. But we want to play Infestation of Venomous Spiders, which actually, with Sky Stretches, can we threshold it? No, we can't quite. With one of those other powers, can we threshold it? That would be kind of handy. Because we need animal, air, and earth. So we would set them on an ever-twisting trail. No, that's not going to work, because we would need the other animal from either Teeming Rivers or Rivers Bounty. Yeah, let's stick with Sky Stretches. Infestation of Venomous Spiders this turn to save land 2 from horrific death. And then we're going to play... Are we going to play all 5 of these cards next turn? We might. But we can play at least one of them this turn. Which one is that going to be? Let's play... Let's see, because we can go to 4 card plays, or we could go to 5 card plays and have a bunch of energy. I think we want to go to 5 card plays, so we want to play one of these. And let's play... I'm thinking about... I really want something that's going to let me get massive flooding if I can, but if I can't, then just Wash Away is still really good here, because we can put a bunch of things... We don't get our innate this turn with that, but it's still really effective. Yeah, I think let's do that. The only question I would have then is actually, do I want to play 2 cards? Because I could draft something and go to 4 card plays and hit the max innate next turn. And if we get something that, well, no, we'd need something that's on element, and that'd be difficult to manage. So let's just do this. We'll play. Let's play River's Bounty to get some more Dahan. We can still draft something next turn, but we'll have to see what it is. All right, so we've got a little more fear. We get some Terror 2 cards. Remnants of a Spirit's Heart. Oh, that's going to be fun, potentially. We could craft a great warding. Hunting parties will get us a fear. 1,000 small struggles will do nothing. Crafting a warding costs us 2 energy, and we've got potentially a lot coming in next turn. So we'd be at 1 energy, then up to 4, and that would be plenty, I think, to do more or less whatever we wanted. Even using infestation again, potentially. So let's craft a warding. I don't want to discard Sky Stretches to Shore, so let's just pay 2 energy. And hunting parties gets us a fear. 1,000 small struggles is nothing. We get 2 fear cards. Skip the next normal explore. Okay, that's kind of cool. Dahan give defend. Ravaging the coastal lands. We skip the ravage. Build in the sands. Nothing happens, and they don't explore. So that's great. All right. In that case, let's pull some Dahan into land 2. Let's wash away land 4 into land 5. And let's massive flooding one of those towns into land 2. All right. And then we have basically a free turn now to do what we want. And I think what we want to do is to go to 4 energy, 4 card plays. The other option, again, as mentioned, was to potentially draft something. But I think just going to 4 energy, 4 card plays, or even to 5 card plays, is going to be stronger. Let's go to 5 card plays. We'll get a Sacred Site in there, and then we can grab something on the Reclaim that potentially helps us a great deal. So we want... actually, it doesn't matter what we take. Oh, that's actually... Wait, that's right. It doesn't matter what we take. And we have 3 extra energy. So if we just go to 4 card plays... Because we hit our max innate with these 3 cards alone. I'm forgetting on this. So we definitely want to take something new. Let's take a new major. See what we can get. Hey, Vigor of the Breaking Dawn. That'll do it. That'll win us the game, I think. Yeah, that'll win us the game. So let's take that. Infestation of Venomous Spiders goes away. We add a presence to... Let's put it in land 2 after all. And we can reclaim River's Bounty. We don't need to do it, but... Let's do that, and Vigor, and we just barely are going to make it. And by just barely, I mean we're going to make it by a fairly big margin, but that's fine. So Boon of Vigor gets us an energy, Sky Stretches to Shore, and then Massive Flooding on land 2, burn a bunch of things, and then Vigor of the Breaking Dawn on land 2, break a bunch of things, push Dahan into land 5, and clear the map. And hit terror level 3, apparently. All right, that's the game. So that was Scotland as River. We did some goofy things, but we got there in the end. And I think that this one was pretty straightforward here. I mean, obviously we went Blighted, so not that straightforward. But it worked out pretty well. We were able to keep them under control, make a huge dump land, and just nuke it with massive flooding. Even despite my forgetting flash floods and doing other goofy things. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Have a good rest of your day.